was a hot button parenting topic 20 years ago, but bullying has not gone away.
Yeah, in fact, recent reports show sort of a startling story that 80% of kids, 80% will be bullied before they're 18 years old, and 60% won't ever tell anyone. And despite very best intentions, KSL parenting contributor Heather Johnson says parents sometimes get this one wrong, offering well-meaning advice that can make things worse. That's hard to hear.
I know, because we want to help.
Yes.
And we've been through it, right? We've all faced this. It hurts. We don't want our kids to have to go through this. And yet we're missing the mark often. We often miss the mark with this one. In some interesting ways, right? We're quick to tell our kids to rise above it, to just walk away, to ignore it.
That sounds like great advice.
Sounds like great advice. Except what we're actually saying to them is we're not going to teach you how to handle conflict. We're not going to teach you how to handle contention. We're not going to teach you what to do when something is uncomfortable or how to stand up for yourself. So in giving them that advice, we're not actually teaching them the things that they need in order to navigate bullying.
Gotcha.
Right? We are really busy teaching them to be kind, which means we're actually not teaching them to be ready. And we have an emphasis where we're busy teaching them to be empathetic, which is good, but we're not teaching them how to not be a victim. And that's what we want to do with this, right? We want to teach them to be ready. We want to teach them how to not be a victim. We can easily say, well, can you really bully-proof a kid, right? Can we really do this? And we can't. Bully-proofing a child doesn't mean that they won't face bullying. I want you to think of it kind of like something that's waterproof.
Okay.
Something that's waterproof, like a bag or a coat or shoes, it doesn't mean they don't ever get rained on or don't ever get wet. It means that when they get wet or when they get rained on, they can handle the rain, they can handle the water, and the water doesn't do any long-term damage. That's what bully-proofing a child is. It allows them to handle it when it hits them and also doesn't impact them long-term. That's what we're trying to do.
You're also taking a position that I actually haven't heard very readily applied to the topic of bullying, which is it will likely happen.
It will.
I mean, we say this about a lot of hard things. We say this about pornography. You know, the list is long. But the idea that bullying will actually happen kind of, I think, esteems parents or motivates parents to take this on in maybe a different way.
Absolutely, and hopefully, right? And remember, I think when we hear bullying, we kind of go to this extreme. We go way down the road where the child is relentlessly picked, like we go really far with it. Bullying doesn't have to go that far to be bullying, right? I mean, you could have a child who's in 4th grade who has someone who says the same really unkind thing and isolates them every day about something. That's bullying. They're facing this all the time. So we want to open our minds. Plus, we've all been adults and faced similar things. We tend to think, well, this will happen with our kids, and then they'll outgrow this bullying phase. That's not true. We have to deal with uncomfortable people who maybe handle things in ways that we don't agree with and push and poke. Bullies
grow up.
They do. They do.
And you really want parents to look out for patterns.
That's a great place to start, right? Because we want to do this a little bit different. So remember, bullying takes on patterns such as looking for isolation, always looking for the child who hesitates to respond, right? Bullies are always looking for the one, again, who's alone, who takes a long time to respond, who is uncomfortable, who doesn't make eye contact, who doesn't show up with everyone else. Those are patterns. Now, here's why patterns matter. Patterns are predictable. If something is predictable, then it's preventable. So we can help our kids look for the patterns, and then we can teach them how to prevent them. This is also something, this prevention, where I love bringing grandparents into the equation, because we want to teach our kids, for example, the skills that we're not emphasizing anymore. Walking into a room with your head up and making direct eye contact with someone. Keeping your shoulders back, standing tall, and saying your words with strength and power. Bullies don't like that. They're looking for people who fall into patterns who don't do those things. This is such a great place for grandparents and parents to teach their kids those things, for grandparents to help remind them, hey, let's look each other in the eye when we talk. Hey, speak up and raise your voice when you're answering me.
This isn't casual conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time where you're teaching them that. Even things like taking them to a restaurant and saying, put your shoulders back, make eye contact with that waitress, and order your food yourself.
Yeah.
Those are very direct things. They help break the patterns. And so when, again, the patterns are predictable, we can prevent them.
We've got 1 minute left, and I don't want to oversimplify this, but if bullies are the problem, on the flip side, would it be fair to say that friends could be possibly an antidote, or at least part of the solution?
Absolutely, because bullies isolate and strong friendships protect. So you want to see it that way, but remember, our kids don't know how to build strong friendships unless we're teaching them the small things. They're not sure how to step into a group that already exists and listen, they're very quick to rush in and express their opinion. That makes it hard for them to have friends. They're not sure how to compromise. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to share ideas in one of these settings. And so we need to teach them how to have those strong friendships. Bullies don't come find the strong friend group. They don't do that. So again, we need to teach them to stand up. We need to teach them how to do those things. And we can. It is standing still instead of thinking that you always need to retreat. We've got to teach them that.
I know resiliency made your list, which is sort of a parenting buzzword. I would love to pick up this conversation next week if we could, and talk about how to really punch forward that idea of resiliency in kids, because that's a big piece of it.
It is. It's a huge piece. And that's back to being waterproof, right? Or bully-proof.
Yeah.
This is this space where you will face it and deal with it. And can we make sure that we don't allow it to mean something about us? And as parents, we have got to be really good examples of that, because we tend to be poor examples of making it about us. We want our kids to know that someone else mistreating them doesn't mean anything about them. They've got to have that ability to bounce back.
These are great tools. Got to get right to work.
Yeah.
Heather, thanks so much.